What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the Beetlejuice Dante's Inferno Room Dio set from Neca. That's right, it arrived, it's here. I'm looking forward to getting this on the shelf behind me. But let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out. As promised, today we'll be taking a look at the Dante's Inferno Room Dio. Here's a quick look at the front of the package. So of course you get a nice big image of Dante's Inferno Room right there. You've got the included Beetlejuice figure, which I'm pretty excited that they added. A little disappointed that they don't throw in the girls for the set, but maybe we'll get those down the road. It does label itself as a deluxe set, including ultimate spined coat Beetlejuice, featuring a light up sign. A look at the top of the box, you get the Neca logo, Beetlejuice logo, Dante's Inferno Room Deluxe Set logo. Here's a look at the side. So again, repeating the logo themes, Beetlejuice, Neca, Dante's Inferno Room. Flip it to that side and we get the same thing. Exactly what you might expect, but just repeating those themes. Flip it to the back of the box. We get another cool image, a little bit different than the front. So you still see your image of Beetlejuice there on the side included, but they also put him in front of Dante's Inferno Room, I guess to give you a little idea of the scale here. It goes into further detail. Each letter lights up in sequence, nearly 18 inches tall and almost 24 inches wide when fully assembled. Some assembly required. On the bottom of the box, we get to see the Dio assembly instructions, some important information. Tells you what kind of batteries you need, so you will need 3 AAA batteries, not included for this set. Beetlejuice also comes with a swappable faceplate, and as a point of note for the lights, it does have a USB-C port as well. Now let's get it out of the box. Once you open the box, you can see your plastic sheets in there, so we'll slide those out and take a look at the pieces inside. Here's a look at your contents inside your plastic bubble. Of course, we've got a lot going on there. It's 2-tiered, so there'll be some pieces to put together. Doesn't look like a lot, so that's cool. Should be a simple put together project, knock on wood. All right, so on the first layer, we do get the balcony spikes. So you'll see those will go along the edge of the balcony just above the girls sign. Speaking of which, we do have one of those inside this first part of the package, which is your smaller girls sign. That'll be at your top portion of the Dante's Inferno Room. We also get the main Dante's Inferno Room sign. So here is a good look at that. So this portion will light up. Looking forward to how that displays on the shelf. In the bottom half of the package here, we do get Beetlejuice. So there is a quick look at the Beetlejuice figure. Of course, we'll go down to the review station and actually get a good look at this figure later on. And here's a good look at your lamps. So those will attach to the top of the Inferno Room. You get a little bulb in there. It does not appear that these will be a light up feature. And then we have our sort of main entryway. So again, your girls there. This is where the door for the Inferno Room will go. You can see it in the back there. We'll take a look in a moment. That gives you an idea of that. You can see the balcony area there. And then this is the reverse side. So not much going on inside, but use your imagination. And here are your deco pieces. Now, I'm going to be upfront. I'm a little disappointed. These are cardboard pieces, right? So for the price of this set and what you're getting for just longevity, durability of the Dio set, I would much rather those be a harder plastic piece, something that won't bend or run into any issues. So that's a little bit of a detractor for me, but still looks great from afar. You can't tell at all, but I would definitely like to see that be in a plastic instead of a cardboard. And here's a quick look at everything in the box. So on the surface, doesn't look like a whole lot, right? You're basically talking about one, two, three, four main pieces and then a couple of additional smaller cardboard pieces to fill out some areas in your figure. People are going to complain about the price point. For me, this is something I had to have on the display. I have a pretty good Beetlejuice display that I'm working on, and getting a shot at a in scale to Neca Beetlejuice Figures Dante's Inferno room, yeah, no brainer for me. As a reminder, your instructions are on the bottom of the box. They did not include a set of instructions inside of the box. All right, let's get this thing together. You'll take the Dante's Inferno room piece that should snap into the top there. You'll see some cutouts in here for your pieces that just pop in. Once it's in there, you'll see it's flush with the border of the main part of the building. There's your battery pack, and your USB-C port is right under there. Switch on the back. We'll keep it going. So as I pointed out, the port areas on the back of the building there, you can see how it's got this edge here. Again, just pops right in. When you get to this part, you'll see a port on the girls sign portion. There's just a little port right there and a porthole on the Dante's Inferno room side. So that'll just pop right in. Next thing will be installing your lights. So you'll see a key here and here. And then there is your porthole. And then just line those up and they'll pop right on. Next up is going to be your balcony spikes. So you'll see the wider ones, those are going to go along your main edge there. And then you have a slightly slanted version. Those are the ones that'll be up top. When you get to these, you'll see it does have a sort of key system. There's a slight edge that's going to line up with the porthole. You do get a few extra of these, which may come in handy. I can imagine some people may break these. They are a little bit fragile. All right, so before you do the upper spikes there, they are directional. So you get two packs, two smaller packs of these. It does matter which side they go on. It'll be much more difficult to try to fit them in if you don't get the correct side. Now that we've got our spikes on our balconies, we're going to move to the panels. So we've got window panels, side panels. Those will fill in all of these areas here, and then you'll get your main entrance after that. All right, we're going with the window panels first. They'll go up there, but I just wanted to show you what you're dealing with here. Again, sort of a cardboard, dense, sure, but you'd rather see that in a more durable material. In order to pop these in, you'll see you've got your keys. Those will line up. And then everything just pops right into place, just like that. All right, we've got those in, so we'll keep working our way down at the bottom here. All right, so we can get a good look at the set with all of your cardboard cutouts in there. Of course, there's still the flames for the top and then the main entryway. We'll get to that now. So the flames, again, same material. It's just gonna pop right into the top there. There's a little cutout, slides right in, no problem. All right, so we've got our main doorway. This is gonna look nice on the front. Now, as I've said a couple of times about this cardboard, I can get by on the windows, doors being cardboard cutout pieces. This absolutely should have been plastic. With all the horns and the flames on top, the teeth, too many points of failure for this to bend at some point in your collecting life. Humidity is also going to be an issue with this, right? So I absolutely think that this, at a minimum, should have been plastic along with the main pieces. All right, so this, you'll see a little cut on the stairs right down there. That just slides right on. There's a little indentation on each side, so you'll see how that goes once you start to slide it there. And then that's how it looks. Right, so you put your AAA batteries in, and then that's what you get. Letter by letter, as it said, lights up. Again, pretty fantastic. All right, so there is your Dante's Inferno room. It's a beautiful dio. Complaints aside about the cardboard pieces, this thing will have absolute shelf presence. It's going to look fantastic. Can't wait to get it up on the shelf. Was it worth the price of admission? That's going to be on each individual and how they feel. For me, as a huge Beetlejuice fan, I think it was, this is something I needed on the display. There could have been some things a little bit better for the price. I think would have been a little bit more justifiable. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with the purchase. It's not going to be for everybody. It's not worth it for everybody. For me, as a big fan, I'm here for it. Moving in closer, we can get a good look at this Beetlejuice figure that comes with this Dante's Inferno Room Dio set. So a variation of the Bio-Exorcist version that we received earlier in the year, right? Similar parts. It has the swappable faceplates, a lot of the same hands for sure. This one doesn't come with any additional accessories. You do get the spikes in the suit, though. For me, that's cool. I'm glad that we got this version of Beetlejuice in figure form. The complaint being that, right, it's locked in to this Dio set, right? So if you want this figure, you got to get the set or hope that somebody's selling this figure. But I'd have to assume that if someone is paying for the Dio set, they probably also wanted this figure. But hey, it could happen. Cool looking figure. Not a whole lot that needed to be done here, right? I just liked having the option. He's going to go very well with the Dante's Inferno room. Let's take a closer look. We can get a good look here at the costume. Now, I thought that these spikes were going to be a much more flexible plastic, but they definitely have some rigidity to them. They're pretty firm, so I like that. They're going to hold up pretty well, it seems. Looks good. You can imagine Adam grabbing Beetlejuice and spikes in the hands, because they got some poking to them. So pretty on point, I would say. I like the tears in the jacket. They come through very well. Deco looks good. I mean, it's a Neca figure. You know what you're getting there. Everything seems to look pretty good, though. Paint apps. Swappable faceplates. You might have complaints about those, but they seem to be okay here. Let's take a look at some of those. The faceplate that is on when you pull it out of the box, you get this angry one. And I mean, that is like Beetlejuice come to life. So I like how well they execute these face sculpts. Maybe I prefer its alternate heads, but then again, you do get more options with these faceplates. The next one you get is that slightly less angry Beetlejuice expression. So another well-executed face sculpt, design, the overall aesthetic. Everything is there. It's lifelike, I dig it. This next one a little bit goofier, but I can see this and the next head sculpt being the ones as Beetlejuice is noticing Dante's Inferno room and making his way over there. As I said, that's the expression, right? He's got the high brow, the surprise, that shit-eating grin on his face. It's all there. So that might be the look I go through. I got to figure it out what I'm going to display, but I might lean towards this one. It's fun, right? For your hands, you do get an open set of hands. You get another open set, but these are slightly more towards grabbing hands. And then you do get a single pointer, which is a good expressive hand. We saw that with the Bio-Exorcist as well. For comparison, here he is backed up against the Bio-Exorcist version. Just to give you an idea, I mean, the costumes are just variants of each other, right, in the film and everything. So that's what you've got here. Of course, he looks a little bit more robust with these spikes coming out of him, but you get the same shoes, same sort of palette for the jacket and the clothing. And as I said, a lot of the same expressions in hands. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. There is the Beetlejuice from your Dante's Inferno room set. Of course, we've got the full Dante's Inferno room. We'll get a good look at everything together in just a moment. But for the figure, good representation, exactly what I wanted, and a version of Beetlejuice that I've really wanted for the display. Say what you want about it being locked in the set, but that set was also something I wanted for the display. So no harm, no foul on my end, but I can certainly understand the criticism there. Figure looks good, like the spikes, pretty good plastic there, not super soft, so it does come out very well in hand, in design. Not a whole lot bad to say. So let's take a look at this guy on the shelf. All right, folks, so we got the set on the shelf, looking cool. Gonna go real well with everything, I think. So I have to say, I'm pleasantly pleased with everything here. I love the way the set came out. If you're looking forward to it, I think you're gonna like it. Like I said, I only had a couple of minor complaints. I just wish that it wasn't cardboard for some of those pieces. Other than that, though, I think I like it a lot. That's the 2 cents, folks. I do appreciate you checking out the video. Of course, you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.